Hello and welcome. My name is Samuel Ray, also known as Dr. Sam, and this is the newest trailer for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I did a reaction to the first trailer, the big reveal of it, which had a surprising amount of gameplay in it, actually. It wasn't just cinematics, although they had the little teaser before that I also reacted to. Now, I've seen this video before, actually, on my own time. However, I do want to talk about a few things to point out in the trailer. Just some points of interest, really. So, namely, well, we do get some new voice lines, right? Wave, Storm, Jet, particularly, Babylon Rogues. But, a few things stuck out here. First of all, I really don't like his voice, but they had to replace his voice after they stopped using the voice actors from 4Kids. So, just not a big fan of it, but regardless. Wave and Storm sound fine. She's got an interesting... Oh, wait, that's her posture when she's ready to use an item. Okay, they hold it above their hand. And it's the Wisps, of course. And you got Storm, and so they're showing off a lot of people using the extreme gears. And then here, we've got some interesting information on crossover characters. So that's the interesting part of this trailer. It's called Cross Worlds, and so they decided they could use this as an excuse to essentially make this the next Sonic and Sega All-Stars game, because the Project Diva games, the Hatsune Miku Project Diva games, are published by Sega. So they have the ability to put Vocaloids, at the very least Hatsune Miku, but Vocaloids in general, the Krypton Media ones, into this game. So we may get more of the Krypton Media Vocaloids than just Miku, but at the very least we get her. Of course, they had to give her a racing outfit unique to this, but there's so many different outfits that Miku has been designed with, so it's pretty easy to find one, I imagine. But they're really showing off the extreme gear in this one too, like much more so than the karts. But Ichiban from the Like a Dragon RPGs, right? And then he's in a kart here. So they've got signature vehicles, and then Joker. So yeah, Yakuza / Like a Dragon, Persona, and Hatsune Miku Project Diva. Those are all Sega published games, and very popular ones. Really, they continued to sell pretty well, even when Sonic Team was having an issue. Having like down points like Sonic Forces. So this essentially is Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing 3. That is essentially what this game is in all but name at this point. It just doesn't have the title of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. But that's essentially what this is, which opens up the ability for there to be so many other characters in this game from other Sega published IP. I mean, in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing 1, we had Akira Yuki and Jackie Bryant together in what looked like sort of a Corvette type car from Virtua Fighter. They were in that one. I can't remember if they're in Transformed, because I didn't play that one nearly as much. I had the first one on my Wii way back, and so my brother and I played it a lot. But, there's so many different characters that could be released in this game as either DLC or free updates and all that good stuff. We could have so many different Sega characters here. And then there's Minecraft, which I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Minecraft's in everything. It's like Shovel Knight was back in the day, when Shovel Knight was crossing over into everything. But, that's also an interesting thing, because it opens up the ability for them to have worlds not published by Sega. So that's actually really cool. It opens up the scope a lot. So there's all sorts of partnerships they could get. And so the Season Pass, so you have Minecraft as one of the Season Pass parts here. Now it shows the characters, 3 characters and the cart, right? The mine cart as a vehicle, but it doesn't necessarily say that the stage, the world the track is part of the DLC, so it may be possible to race on the tracks even if you don't have them. Kind of like how Mario Kart 8 lets you race on DLC tracks as long as one person in the lobby has that DLC. And then it's interesting how they have the Werehog track here, or Werehog pack. So you got an emblem there for Sonic the Werehog. Sonic himself, which we haven't seen in anything official, not official, but anything console. Right? He's been in some of the mobile games, but not console games. And then the Dark Gaia themed car. And then Sonic Prime character pack. So we got some crossover from the show. Sonic Prime, Knuckles the Dread, Nine, and Rusty Rose. So that's honestly really cool. Like, this is truly Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing 3. That's what it is. They just decided to go with the name Sonic Racing after Team Sonic Racing instead of the Sega All-Stars. But yeah, there's all sorts of cool stuff we could see. In fact, I'm going to pause my recording real quick and see if I can pull up some speculative or characters that I would like to see. Okay, so I actually found a really good image here on Reddit. So shout out to the Purple Sniper over on Reddit for that. But this is just a lot of different Sega IP, right? And I think we could see a lot of crossover. Like, for example, Fantasy Zone, we already saw Opa Opa in one of the old Sonic and Sega All-Stars racing games. I think. Fantasy Star series, and there's a lot of the Fantasy Star Online in particular, and Fantasy Star Portable had a lot of futuristic setting, so like we could see characters from the most recent of those, which would be Fantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. Golden Axe, I guess we could see the gnome guy from Golden Axe with the horned helmet. There are no particular characters that are memorable from Afterburner. Oh, that's right. I think the car that was driven by Hiroyuki and Jackie Bryant was reminiscent. It was a reference to the Outrun, the car in Outrun. Space Harrier. I don't think there's any recognizable characters in that. Alex Kidd, Sega's mascot before Sonic the Hedgehog released. He could be playable in it. Rystar, I would like to see Rystar. He had a cool Sonic-esque design, right? Ain't no way Echo the Dolphin can be a character. It's a freaking dolphin. We could see characters from Fighting Vipers as little nods, right? As a little deep cut. That would be really cool. Knights into Dreams. I mean, that's a top contender right there. Give Knights an extreme gear so it can fly. Space Channel 5. Ulala, she has been in Sega All-Stars racing games. Crazy Taxi. BD Joe was in the first one, if I remember correctly. From Crazy Taxi. In the Crazy Taxi, of course. Shenmue. Ryo Hazuki in a forklift, I think it was. He was in the first one as well. So that was interesting. Jet Set Radio. I mean, yeah, you could have Beat from Jet Set Radio, or you could have the DJ. Burning Rangers would be another deep cut. Oh yeah, Sakura Wars. I forgot that's owned by Sega. They could put characters from the Sakura Wars PS4 game. Yeah. That would be a bit of a niche cut as well, though. Same with Resonance of Fate. It's also another cult classic type game. Right? Bayonetta is a Sega published game, so they could put Bayonetta in it. Valkyrie Chronicles, another more niche cult classic kind of game, but they could put characters from that. Samba de Amigo, I do think Amigo was in, or whatever the main character of that, the box art character. I think he was in one of the previous ones. Billy Hatcher only got one game on GameCube, but he could be in it as well as a deep cut. Rhythm Thief, perhaps. Pop Fever. Oh yeah, and they could put in some Puyo Puyo characters as well. Vanquish, that was also a one-off game. I don't think they'll put anyone from there into it. And then, of course, good old Segata Sanshiro from the Sega Saturn days. I would like to see him as a playable character. That would be really cool. Oh yeah, Shining Force. That was also Sega. Huh. They have a lot more than I expected. I forgot about Vector Man. Wow. So yeah, there's a lot of characters they could put into this game, really. And I don't even think this encompasses all of Sega's IPs. This is just ToeJam and Earl. There's just a lot they could do, right? So the fact that they're not limiting it to just Sonic characters, and then even having crossovers with characters outside of Sega, just opens up the ability for this to be the most expansive, kart racing, casual kart racing type game in existence right now. So this could be essentially the Smash Brothers of kart racers, and I'm here for it. So I want to close this out by asking you. Oh, didn't realize Sega to Sancho, he was cut off. Let me shrink this down, that way you can see him right there. There it is. Okay. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Oh, Virtual On is also Sega. Yo. Okay, that's also a deep cut, but I would love to see that. And I have no idea what this is. Anyway, getting back into it. Let me know in the comments what characters you would like to see from either Sega IP or from outside of that, since that crossover with Minecraft means that sky's the limit at this point. What kind of IPs would you like to see crossed over into this in terms of worlds and characters? I really want to see what you have to say down there in the comments, and let's discuss, let's speculate, or let's just put out a wish list, right? No matter how crazy it is. Anyway, with that, I'm going to leave it here. You'll definitely see me cover more of the promotional material up until its release, and then once it releases, I'll probably grab it on PC. I don't think it's going to run on my Switch 1, and I don't plan on getting a Switch 2 anytime soon, not until I see how some stuff pans out. So I'll probably get it on PC. But yeah, that's it from me. This has been Samuel Ray, also known as Dr. Sam, and I will see you in the next upload. Later.